Okay. Let's get started. Lay down for 40 minutes and woke up. Echo? Wait, is there an echo? How? Dual audio? Okay, hold on. Oh. No. Oh, what? There's no O. Wait. Guys, I actually don't know why it's doing that. Mobile bug refresh? Can anyone corroborate that that isn't on my end and it's you guys instead? Because actually it shouldn't be me. I haven't touched my setup. Yeah, I don't hear an echo. Yippee! Haha, yippee! Haha, yippee! I don't hear an echo, but I'm on PC. I don't hear it. Oh shit, it was a bug. Okay, well. Sounds fine to me. Okay, cool. Horse, thanks for the gifted. 5 gifted. Epic. Andy, thanks for the gifted. Miss Mark, thanks for re-upping. 4 months. Let me double check that we're doing okay. Camera working? Do I have my face on? Yeah. Okay. Hi. Feels like it's been a while, but it has in fact been 3 days, as it normally is when there's a weekend. How's everybody doing? Everyone doing okay? Sweaty? Why? Oh, the Cocoa Melon. I don't have RuneScape open. Has been asleep all day. I'm tired. Awesome. Eating din din. I got flu and COVID shots over the weekend. Recovering. I always hear that people get knocked on their ass, but I haven't gotten my, I guess my COVID booster or whatever the hell you'd call it anymore. In a minute. Looking swaggy. Looking pretty normal. I got a Quiet Shy shirt on, if anyone knows Quiet Shy. And I got my glasses. And that's it. Canceled my doctor appointment this morning because I had a bad headache. Isn't that the point of going to the doctor? Did I say the most delicious sandwich? That's kind of a W. Kind of a W. What's this Raging Wolf Helm badge that people have? What is that? What is that? Help. It was a telehealth thing, unrelated. But why didn't you tell them your head was Uchi Owie Hurdy? Yeah. Today I woke up and Elden Ring. I thought it was the Raging Wolf. That's like the Elden Ring armor set, like the poster armor set for Elden Ring. No. Today I woke up. We got breakfast with our dad. And then we sent him on his way. Bye, Dad. And that was... Oh, and then we got coffee with Lando. And that was my day. And then I laid down for 40 minutes. I don't know, guys. Something's happening to me. I gotta lay down more often. Like, fucking... It hits like 3 or 4 p.m. every day. And it's like, damn, I could use a lay down for like 40 minutes. Only like 40. Depression? No. It's like I physically need to because I'm sleepy. Not like, dang man, I feel like shit. I'm gonna go sleepy. It's like I literally am just like, dang, I'm kind of tired. Anemia? The mid-afternoon sleepies. Yes. Change of seasons, perhaps. But it's been beautiful here. It's the approaching 30s. There might be a little bit of that, too. Because, like, the first full day our dad was here, we had a pretty full morning. And then we got home, and we're all just kind of sitting there talking, and he gets up and he goes, I need to lay down. And then I was like, oh yeah, man, go lay down. But inwardly, I'm like, thank God, because I also needed a lay down. For reference, my dad is like almost 30 years older than I am. I think he's 57. Yeah. So y'all took a little nappy. What do they call that? A hacienda? Is that? Am I confusing that with something else? All three of you? Literally all three of us, yes. A siesta? What's a hacienda? Why did I think hacienda? Siesta. Picked up Bailey today. He is more anxious being than usual. Poor baby. Fancy home? Well, there you go. Hacienda is a house? Yeah, I literally don't know why I thought that. Again, like I tell you guys always, my Spanish is shot. My vocab is very strange. Like, I couldn't tell you hospital, but I know hacienda, apparently. And I know guarito, and I know salchicha. Yeah. That's it, though. Talk about the bread quest. I saw Serve talk about it. We went to a fancy restaurant, and it was like a steak restaurant. It was in Caesar's Palace, in the Forum, for those of you who are familiar. And as a fancy steak restaurant tends to do, they will give you bread. They give you bread. Hospital is the same word, actually. Is that true? No way. Maybe that's why I remember it. But usually the bread is like kind of standard bread, but this was like an assorted bread basket, and there was like, they were all good, but there was one like standout bread, and none of us could place what it is. And I got home and I was spending all night trying to figure out what the hell type of bread. Forums have fancy restaurants now? Damn, the internet sure has changed. I don't know. The restaurants on, what forums would I have even frequented? Yeah. I don't remember the last time I used something that I could probably call a forum. Like Cheesecake Factory bread, they did have a pumpernickel, like, brown bread, like the Cheesecake Factory, but it wasn't that. They did have one. There was a walnut raisin bread that was a pumpernickel, and that one was quite good. And there was a pretzel. It was like a pretzel bread that was very good. Pretzel bread seems a bit goofy because a pretzel is bread, but it's like, it wasn't in the shape of a pretzel. It was like a little roll, but like with the top kind of scored, you know, like a little X shape. That was very good. And then there was, I think it was some kind of ciabatta roll. It was good, but I was trying to figure out this damn bread, and I was DMing them on Instagram. I was scrolling through TripAdvisor. I was scrolling through the entire media history of their Instagram account and their Twitter account. And I failed. I went to bed that night pissed that I couldn't figure out what the hell the mystery bread was. It was... Did they ever message you back? No. And I ended up calling them the next day, and they told me that they get the question kind of often, and that it was a white chocolate bread. I think it's technically a sourdough that they need white chocolate into at the dough the dough stage. It was subtly sweet, but like the crust was really, it had a good chew. I like a good chew on crust. I don't know about you guys, but like a really proper like bread should have like a nice chew on the crust, but still be really soft on the inside. But I don't want it to be like crunchy. Like crunchy crust is fine in some contexts, but if I'm eating bread literally just with butter, I don't want it to be like crusty, crunchy bread. It was really good. But yeah, it was really good. It was really good. And I almost want to go back just to get the bread. And we also got tiramisu there, and it was the best tiramisu any of us had ever had. I could just tell you all the restaurant because it's not like I live there. It was the Palm at Caesar's Palace Forums. The Palm Steakhouse. It's in other locations across the U.S. But we were at the Vegas location in Caesar's Palace. It was expensive. You can probably dine there for normal expensive instead of super expensive. Like if you don't get steaks, it would still be expensive, but not super duper expensive. But the dad treat y'all? Yeah, it was kind of our birthday dinner from him, which was very nice. But yeah, the tiramisu was like, it's the kind of like a la carte restaurant where you know it's going to be really expensive. And spawn camping the Palm so I can attack you IRL, you're not going to see my ass there for like another year at least. But like the sides are all shareable and expensive, so it'd be like, you want a side, it's a la carte, it costs $16, but it's a lot. You know, they bring the fucking sides in a big trough. But the tiramisu was like this big, maybe a little bit longer, and it was pretty flat, maybe this tall, but like it was huge. So we got one to share, and that was the right idea because it was gigantic, but it was really good. I'm not like a big tiramisu guy. Connor loves tiramisu. I'm not a big dessert guy in general, but it was really good. Did it have real mascarpone? I don't know. I would imagine so. I don't know. But it was really good. Yeah. That was a fun evening. We walked the strip, which was it was the strip. We got accosted by sex workers. There were people smoking really big joints. It was loud, and it was not bad though for the strip. It was not bad. Did I strip? No. Sounds like hell. It's funny that my dad noticed this because it wasn't something I noticed the first time. The strip, the different sides of the street are like super different. On the side of like Caesar's Palace and like the Bellagio and things, the really big famous casinos, there are famous casinos on both sides, but like the middle of the strip where like Caesar's Palace is, in that kind of stretch, the casino ground is like holy land where they must enforce it because it's way cleaner and way less tomfoolery. But you cross the street and it's immediately not as clean. You get all the sex workers accosting people. You get all the street performers and all the people like fucking doing whatever on the other side of the street. But it was interesting that my dad was like, "That's interesting. Across the street, it's completely different." And I think that is like it's a real phenomenon here. It's just I didn't notice it the first time I was here. But I'm not gonna call Caesar's Palace classy. It's still a casino, but like it had some shame, I guess, is what I would say. But yeah. Really good weather here the whole weekend, though. Really good weather. Super clear. It's been like mid 70s, low 80s, which I know to some people sounds high, but we have like single-digit % humidity here, so the heat in the air doesn't retain heat. So if the temperature is high, it isn't as bad as you would think. 100 plus 90 plus degrees is still quite hot here, especially 95 plus. But like low 80s, mid 70s is like perfect here. In Georgia, that would be pretty hot. But here, it's really nice. It's been perfect this whole weekend. We went to Hoover Dam. I've never been to Hoover Dam. Hoover Dam was really cool. If you're ever in Vegas and you're not sure what you want to be doing, go to Hoover Dam. It's not that far. It's kind of far. It depends on where you're at. But from the Strip, it's maybe 45, 50-minute drive. The tour only costs $30 a head. You get to go in the dam. You get to go and see the generators and go and see. Very informative. Is there a gift shop? Yes. It was really, really cool, really pretty there too. And it's funny how those kind of big historic things, especially things that are like man-made landmarks and not just like, you know, the Grand Canyon's big and historic, but like a landmark that's man-made, it almost serves as like propaganda. Because I walked away from that thinking like, damn, like we used to be a country, you know? Because they built that thing in like 5 years. And it wasn't even like they built the dam in 5 years. It took 2 years to build the tunnels that diverted the river after the temporary dam was put up. And then it took 2 years, 2.5, to build the structure of the actual dam, the big concrete dam. It was like 930 feet tall or whatever. That's crazy. Dam, that's a funny joke because they made it a whole lot. You know, we're on the elevator going down, and they're like, the tour guide's like, they tell you guys the picture policy yet? And everyone's like, no. And they're like, well, there isn't one, so take all the damn pictures you want. Got good laughs. I'm sure she uses that one every time. But it was good. +2. Wow, is that the first +2 ever in my chat? But it was really cool. It's definitely propaganda, but like, it's not like it's like propaganda. Propaganda isn't innately negative. But yeah, it was really cool. Stuff doesn't get done like that basically anywhere anymore. It was really cool. I'm not really sure why stuff like that doesn't get done anymore. Is there just not a need to build giant fucking things anymore? What happened? We used to be a species. Like America, they were saying, is pretty much all dammed up. There isn't that much room left in the country for big dams. Like the Colorado River, where the Hoover Dam's at basically the bottom of, has 13 dams on it. I'm sure the Mississippi has plenty. Yeah, I don't know. It seems interesting. I don't know why stuff like that doesn't really get done anymore. If they chose to invest in it, but like, what would we invest in? That's my, like, we don't build giant fuck-off buildings anymore or anything that's like, architecture used to be like art. Like, even though this is a big functional hydroelectric dam, they still had like touches on it that was more than just a big concrete slab. You know, there was lots of Art Deco stuff. There were monuments. There were lots of interesting things and shapes. And it's like, we only build for function anymore. I don't know. Like, tall buildings still get built, but they're not as tall, and they're not pretty. They're just big rectangles with nothing, you know? Like, the whole Hoover Dam is kind of Art Deco. Lots of Art Deco doors and signs and things. Very interesting. I mean, it was built in the mid-30s. was completed in like 35, started in 31, or 30 maybe. But yeah, it was really interesting, really cool. Yeah, it was really cool. So if you're ever in Vegas, the Hoover Dam is really close. And also, interestingly, it sits on the Arizona-Nevada state line. You cross over the dam, and halfway across the dam, you're in Arizona. So that's also interesting. For its architecture, I can say their contracts never promise to adhere to all codes and laws because sometimes it's impossible. I mean, yeah. It looks unfathomably large, like hard to wrap the mind around. It was probably so cool to see in person. It was really cool. Really cool. And back when it was built, it was like the biggest dam in the world. China now has the biggest dam in the world and has the dam, a different dam that produces the most hydroelectric power in the world. I think this dam at full capacity, and it doesn't run at full capacity. The Three Gorges, yeah, I think the Three Gorges is the one that produces the most power. There's another one. It's like the Ji something. But this dam at full capacity, the one in China, still runs 7 times more wattage than this dam does. That's just to show how much different things have gotten in the near 100 years since this thing was built. Oh, I learned interesting things about concrete, too. Apparently, concrete cures in a bell curve. Like, they estimate the Hoover Dam should last at least 2,000 years. Like, it's still curing. It's been 90 years. It's still curing. They take core samples at the thickest parts of the dam. Concrete is so strange. I didn't know that. What is curing? It's like hardening. You know how, like, you make, like, a clay pot and you leave it out to dry and cure, it hardens over time? Concrete does that too. But I didn't realize how long of a process that was. For this amount of concrete, it takes so long. So long. They were saying something like, because the entire dam was made in one continuous pour. They worked 24/7, literally 3 8-hour shifts a day, 2 days off a year, Christmas and 4th of July, until it was done. And they were constantly pouring concrete. There was no stop in the concrete going in, ever, once they started. It needed to be all one big continuous piece. And it took 2 years of that. And that's what I was going to get to next. It's exothermic, so you have to be careful about the heat. The curing of the concrete produces heat, and there was so much concrete that there was so much heat that they were worried it was going to like be impossible to work on. So they put hollow pipes through the concrete that they would pour on top of and then run cold water through. It's literally just a water cooling system like through your computer to allow it to still be made while it was curing, to be all done in one pour. Like, that's crazy. It was so hot that it would have been so hot, it would have been impossible to work on while it was curing. The amount of concrete being used at once. And like back then, that kind of thing was revolutionary. I'm sure it's super commonplace now. But yeah, it was crazy. It was so cool. It was so cool. I love stuff like that. And I felt like an idiot for not realizing they named it after President Hoover. Like, am I stupid? Of course it's named after Hoover. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I could go on about the dam. But it was really, really interesting. Last few things I'll talk about. Lake Mead. The man-made lake that was made by the dam's creation. At the time, was the largest man-made lake in the world. And I think now, I think it's still the largest in the Western Hemisphere. Mead? Yeah, I do believe it's spelled like that, like mead. Um, and it's really, really gigantic. And it was so big that once the dam was nearing completion, they started filling it up because they knew it would never fill high enough to trouble with the building of the top sections of the dam. It took 6.5 years for the flow from the Colorado that was being let down to fill the new reservoir, the new lake. 6.5 years. It's so big. It's so big that if you took the amount of water in Lake Mead, it could cover the entire, they said the entire state of Pennsylvania in 1 foot of water. Standing water. It's 9 trillion gallons of water. And then we're mad because all the Californians take it from us. But like life down here in the southwestern US and northern Mexico was way more difficult before this thing was built. Because it dammed up all the floodplains and then provided a giant source of fresh water for all the communities. Like Vegas couldn't exist without it and lots of stuff. To be fair, the Colorado was majorly nerfed by the Colorado Access Pipeline, which supplies water to huge populations on the West Coast. Yeah. Really recently here, Vegas had we're taking so much water from the Colorado and from the lake. It's so low. It's crazy how low it is. Apparently, it's only at 1/3 capacity. You can see the water line of where the water used to be. And it was so low. Vegas just had to drill another straw in the bottom of Lake Mead to get water from because the water level has gone beneath one of the straws that draws water for the city. So that's not good. Not good. It was really low. Like if you look up a picture of Hoover Dam, there are these big intake towers on the side of the dam. So, you know, you can see the big giant side of the dam, the really, you know, the big swoop side. There's no water or anything. The other side where the water is actually dammed up, there are these big intake towers, and they have little bridges that walk from the top of the dam to the intake towers so they can be serviced. And the water used to be filled almost all the way up to those little walkways, the top of the dam. Apparently, the highest the water line ever got, it was 7 feet from the top of the dam. It is now way, way lower than that. It's crazy how much lower. It must be a couple 100 feet lower than that now. And it's not just a couple 100 feet there. It's like a couple 100 feet low all the way down the lake. Like the water line is huge. The amount of water that is now missing. Really interesting, but also kind of concerning. Yeah. Low water lines mean you're fucking with the water table. Obvious sign of scarcity human impact. Yep. Yep. It's those evil Californians. Get rid of them. No more. Get out of my state. I lived in Vegas a year and I already hate them. Get out of my state. You're ruining it. Stop taking our water. Apparently, even 100 years ago, when this dam was being built, even then, all of the states were fighting over who got the water. All the states down here wanted some. They ended up just saying, okay, we're just going to build a thing, and then we'll leave it up to the states to draw their own agreements. We're staying out of it. We being the federal government. Oh, one of the highlights. The top of the dam where the road goes, you know, and you can walk across and everything, where they arrested Bumblebee and Transformers. There's bathrooms on the top, and you go up some steps, and it's very Art Deco, and I almost felt like, does my pee go down the dam and help create hydroelectric power? What if it does? But it was really cool. It was such a highlight. The view from the bathroom was really nice. It was really cramped. and all like black marble and like gold, and like you go up some steps at the top of the dam and this little like tower. It's like a little like buttress or something. But it was really cool. And another fact was, before 1994, the dam was the only way to cross that gorge. The traffic must have been horrendous. Must have been awful. There's a giant bridge that circumvents it all now, so the you only have to go across the dam if you want to, and for like tourism reasons. But there's a giant bridge there now that was built in 94. But until then, the dam was also literally the only road that crossed over the big gorge. To answer that succinctly, no, hydroelectric is not usually gray water, but what if it is in this case? What if it is in this case, though? What's the little pee-pee for the Colorado, you know? But yeah, it was really interesting. Really interesting. And again, it definitely feels like propaganda, because I came away going, we used to be a country, you know? What happened? We used to be a country. But it was really cool. Traffic might have not been that bad. Yeah. It was really, really cool. Really cool. 96 people died building it to various things. Though they did say that people being buried literally in the dam is a myth. There's no one who died and fell in the concrete and was like built into the dam like the Great Wall or whatever. The Great Wall, that's not a myth, right? Like, that's verifiable that they're like the slaves that were used to build the Great Wall of China. Like, their bodies were just left where they fell. Yeah, the Great Wall is actual bodies, yes. Yeah, I believe that's true. However, 1930s were a lot more recent than whenever the Great Wall was built. So we weren't as barbaric as a species. But people died to blasting, to falling, to being crushed, to who knows what. Yeah. It was during the Great Depression. They said that workers were able to just come in from all over the country and were promised $4 a day, which they made sure to stipulate was great money during the Depression. So there you go. Wasn't there a huge flooding that happened in California because of the dam building? I don't know. No idea. No idea. But it was really, really cool. You could tell how excited I was about it because I just keep yapping. I keep saying, that's enough of the dam. It was really cool. I highly recommend going if you're into like history or architecture, to seeing cool things, honestly. And even nature. The gorge is, the canyon or whatever you want to call it, was really beautiful there. Really beautiful. But go at this time of year. If you go in summer, it is going to be 1 trillion degrees and you'll die. You'd be cooking out there in the summer. But it's been beautiful here this past weekend, so beautiful. Like the best days this year. I just checked, and the bodies thing is supposedly a myth. Like, there may be some in the foundation, but we don't know. Yeah, I guess we're not going to go digging. I mean, it would make... I'd more likely believe it in the Great Wall than in Hoover Dam. There's a few... You know... How many... When was the Great Wall of China built? I literally don't know. But a lot of time in between them. I'd say our... respect for our fellow man evolved a little bit. You mean hit series Fallout inspired game Fallout New Vegas, hit tourist attraction Hoover Dam? Yep. I told Tanner I went to the dam and he said that I was on a mission from the NCR. Caesar's Legion will never take it. I will say the game doesn't really do it justice. It feels like really shoddy in the game. But I guess it's because it's an irradiated wasteland. It's built to withstand up to an 8.6 magnitude earthquake. So that's interesting. One of the hallways they had us walk through had a big lockbox on the floor. And it said, do not kick or open earthquake detector. And the tour guide had said if you kick that thing hard enough, it would sound alarms in the building because it would think there's an earthquake. I don't think you could... It was probably a joke. I don't think it would be... I don't know. It doesn't seem much until you realize the Richter scale is not linear, it's exponential. Yeah. Like, I don't even think there's been anything close to an 8.6 in this area. GTA 5 in LA? Yeah, how come LA gets like a love letter? The worst city on planet Earth. Fucking hate that place. It's so awful. I've never had a good experience there, and I've been there 3 different times now. Awful. Okay, well. I mean, I guess that's really all I have to talk about. It was nice to see my dad. It's been a while since I've seen him. He's both how I remember him and not. And that's not because he's different, but it's because my memory isn't correct, I guess. But yeah. That was my weekend. What's the tree cutting status? 264,000 experience from level 95. And to level 99, I need 10,568 more logs. So, there you go. We're getting somewhere. I still don't have a beaver pet. No beaver. There is one in game standing next to me right now, but somebody else's beaver. It's not mine. I've been kind of slacking on the wood cutting because I've been busy this past week. I've been doing all kinds of stuff. But we're back on it. On the grind, as it were. Yeah, today we're gonna assemble probably one model and maybe prime it and see what goes on. I'll probably just assemble it and we'll see how we're feeling. So, I don't want to stream super long today. We're just gonna do what we want to do. We talked a little bit and then I'll skidoo out of here, you know? Blue skidooed and we can too. And you like... Oh my... I'll talk about it when I swap. I don't want to keep talking. Okay, hold on. Keep that thought. Sporticus power scaling. Don't forget. Don't forget Sporticus power scaling. That's what I want to talk about when we swap over, okay? Sporticus. Don't forget. Because it's been killing me this past weekend. The Sporticus power scaling arc is so funny. So don't forget, that's what we're going to go talk about. Okay. Some people might say, Reese, I thought you collected Imperial Fists. That's an Iron Hands model. And to you I say, good eyesight, dipshit. We're gonna turn him into an Imperial Fist. This is the Iron Father Pharaohs, who's kind of a special Tech Marine character for Iron Hands players. But I really like the model, and you just change a couple things on him, and he suddenly is Imperial Fist coated. There isn't much about him that's Iron Hands, except for one shoulder pad. So I just have to change the shoulder pad, I believe. Sporticus. Sporticus is a character from children's cartoon Lazy Town, who is kind of like Popeye. Oh shit. I dropped his base and that shit is rolled. Uh-oh. Where did that thing go? What the? Where did it go? Uh-oh, guys. His base fell out of the box and that shit is... Wait. Where? I don't see it. Where? Wait, where did it go? Uh-oh. Where did it go? Well, that's not good. He's the main hero guy? Yes. Hold on, I gotta crawl around and look for this base. Oh. I found it! I found it. Sporticus is kind of like Popeye, where he's all about working out and exercise and eating healthy, and it makes him super strong. And recently, people have been power scaling him like Goku, trying to say, because I think it was like a tweet, who would win, Sporticus or Homelander? And a lot of people were saying, bro, what do you mean? This isn't even a competition. And you'd think people would instantly say Homelander would win, because Sporticus is from a children's TV show. He's actually busted. Like, this guy can do, like, anything. He can, like, hit baseballs to, like, the moon. He hit an apple to the moon in, like, a few seconds, which means he hit the apple, like, to 19% of the speed of light. He picked up a pyramid of Giza with a grapple hook. He runs faster than a cannonball. He's, like, impervious to damage. It's so funny, the feats that Sporticus is doing, and they're, like, attributing it to him, like, okay, we talking base Sporticus or health-lusted Sporticus with an apple? Like, it's so funny. They're talking about him like he's a Dragon Ball Z character, and it's amazing. Okay, so... Sporticus was the evil guy? No, that's Robbie Rotten. Robbie Rotten is the evil guy. He is slicked back and mustachioed, but he's the good guy. Little known fact about Robbie Rotten, his voice actor voices the Viking Berserker in For Honor. Because he speaks the same language, like whatever the Vikings speak in For Honor, whatever Norse language. Okay, so as far as conversions on this guy go, it really just looks like I have to scrape the shoulder pads clean, and then he's fine. And one of them I don't even have to scrape, because I'm just going to replace it. And I'll replace his head, too, I think. Okay. Gotta take my glasses off. I don't need them. I think I'm going to do that shoulder pad thing now, though, so I don't get annoyed later. I'm going to start with it because it's going to be the most labor-intensive part. When did I need to start wearing glasses? Half of my lifetime ago, when I was 14. Which I understand for a lot of people isn't that long, so people start way earlier than that. But it feels weird that I spent half my life wearing glasses now. But, and here's a fun twist, I haven't gotten my eyes checked since then. My prescription's been the same. And it's not very strong. I'm sure that will change, but my prescription lenses have been the same prescription since I was 14. It's weird to think that some people didn't need it in childhood. They needed it. They got it as adults. Yeah, it is kind of weird, huh? I love paying to see. I mean, it's not that expensive. Because as long as you're not buying a whole bunch of pairs, it's just expensive up front once. And that's it. If you guys can see, this shoulder pad has these little cogs and stuff on it, which is normal for a Tech Marine of the Iron Hands, but it's not really Tech Marine for other chapters, so I'm gonna have to shave that off and put a decal on it. So that's what I'm shaving off, the little insignia on this shoulder. I had good vision till college. My vision was good until it wasn't. I was a freshman in high school, and all of a sudden I would be sitting in the back of the class, or even the middle of the class, and I couldn't read the board anymore. The board was blurry. I have to replace every 3 years, and it's $150. It feels like a lot. Every 3 years? What are you doing to your eyes? Why are they decaying so fast? I failed the screenings in elementary school, so you went to an eye doc and you had 20/20 vision. What? So were you just dumb? It's okay to call people dumb when they were children, because you're not even the same human. I kind of subscribe to the thought that, like, before, like, 16, honestly, maybe even later, you kind of aren't even the same human anymore. So I use my knife to scrape away a lot of it, and now I'll probably get some files to do a little bit of the fine work, and that'll be that. When you do more fine work like this, you definitely want to check often, because I want to make sure to keep most of the structural integrity of the shoulder. I still want to make sure it stays round. Oh, here's a certified Nicky and Crosby update. Crosby's fine. He's fine. Nicky is experiencing pseudo-pregnancy, which is not uncommon in dogs after their heat cycle, even if they don't have a litter. My mom, Nikki, didn't have puppies when they got her an ultrasound, but she's been acting weird the past few days, like she was pregnant. And they took her to the vet, and nope, there's nothing there. Which makes me kind of sad, because it's put Nikki in a foul mood. I don't think dogs necessarily have complex enough emotions to, where she kind of understands that she failed to conceive or whatever. But, like, it's not sure, like, a dog necessarily desires to want to be a mother either. It's, like, an instinct thing. But it still makes me kind of sad, Still makes me a little sad. because she's all like punky and out of sorts. Yeah, it's the pseudo pregnancy is it's entirely a hormonal problem. Like she'll even start she could even start like what is it? Why can't I remember the word? Like her mammary glands will start producing milk and stuff, even though she was never pregnant. She can even swell up as if she was pregnant. Lactating? Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Is that a Tech Marine or Admech? This is a Tech Marine. Specifically the Iron Hand special character Iron Father Pharos, but I'm going to make him an Imperial Fist, and all that requires is a little bit of sanding on some shoulder pads. And that's it. I didn't think I was going to sand both of them and just replace this one, but I think I'm going to keep this other shoulder pad and sand this one too, because that went pretty well. It's mostly smooth now. And I think if I take a little bit of plastic glue and put that over the top, it'll help smooth out a bit of the harshness. Then we will let that sit. Yeah, Crosby's fine, as far as I've heard. I'm not really sure what he's up to. I'm sure he's sleeping and or swimming. Yeah, he's basically back to normal, but I mean, between you guys and me, I think my mom should chill out with what she lets him do. I mean, like, the swimming's okay for him, but I think, I don't know, because he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know that he needs to relax. So it's like, I don't know, like, he could still swim, but maybe, like, fucking get him a pool. Like, don't let him jump off the dock, you know? He's smart enough to not want to get up and down off the bed. She keeps him from doing that. He tends to sleep under the bed these days, and he's content with that. But I think she still lets him do too much. Because he nearly slipped a disc. He might be better pretty quick, but it doesn't mean that he's suddenly no longer prone to injury. He's jumping off the dock. I mean, he always was. And, like, even though it's only, like, 1.5 feet, maybe a foot, it's still, like, I don't know. He loves to jump off the dock. Shizuan, thank you for the subscription. 3 months. I want to make sure these are at least mostly flat, because the decals aren't going to sit right if they're not. Almost done with this. Sorry to the 3 Iron Hands players out there that I am desecrating your one character model. But, he's cool, and the Iron Hands are not. So, he's been drafted. Anyone got anything cool happening today? I know it's Monday, so most of you guys are working. Or, did work. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, now we can start assembling him in earnest. Just gonna cycle to a brewery and do your homework. You do your homework... Wait, no. Those are 2 separate things. You're not doing your homework in the brewery. You are doing your homework after going to the brewery. Wait. That order seems off. Are you gonna drink at the brewery? Are you gonna be inebriated? Yeah, drink and study. Oh, so they're not 2 separate things. You are doing your homework at the brewery. That definitely seems like a vibe, but also I feel like your homework, your professor's going to look at it, and you're going to have written, like a 12-year-old's going to have written it. That's definitely a vibe, though. Sounds like a fun evening. Just don't overdo it and you're fine. I don't know. Most people in my life who drink tend to... They don't necessarily overdo it. They overdo it for homework. You know? I'm pretty sure after 1 drink, Landon couldn't solve a simple algebra problem. Landon is the lightest weight I know. And that's not a knock. I think that's a positive for him. And for the rest of us. He doesn't have to drink a dangerous amount to get fucking blasted. We can't use Landon as a litmus test for getting drunk? Oh, for certain, no. It almost like... I think Landon is almost like a case for body weight being completely irrelevant as far as alcohol tolerance. Because Landon, you know, he's not fat or even overweight, but he's a far larger guy than me or Connor. And obviously, I don't drink, but Connor does, and he and I are similar body weight. And Connor can just knock him back, and Landon's like red in the face after half a beer. What do I prime with? I prime usually with Citadel primers or Army Painter primers. I do recommend Citadel over Army Painter. They tend to be higher quality primers. But I've never had a problem with any Citadel primer color. I've used almost all of them. I think the one Citadel primer color that I've never used is Mephiston Red. But I'm sure it's fine. Guys, is web fishing fun? I have only watched about 3 seconds of gameplay. It was someone doing a trick shot on Twitter. I bought it yesterday because I figured it would be fun to play and talk. I have an Army Painter matte black. It creates texture and is not matte at all. Yeah, like you see, it's funny how you already experienced it. Like how I had said that I'd use both Army Painter and Citadel, but I recommend Citadel over Army Painter. Army Printer primers don't have as good quality control. Like, I've had good experiences with them and bad experiences with them. Citadel always has a good finish, a nice smooth finish. It doesn't create, it's not like speckly, it doesn't spit as long as you shake in it a good amount. Yeah, I recommend Citadel primers. I heard the queers love the game. Interesting. What about web phishing specifically appeals to the queer audience? Did I like being a cat? Did I like being a little animal? To be fair, you and Connor are the only straight people I know. Or follow, rather. Not know, I'm sure you know more. If we were the only straight people you knew, the world would be a very strange place. Sometimes I feel like the only straight person I know. Connor doesn't count. I don't... As someone I know, I've always known him. He doesn't count towards my statistics. Oh my god, another thing on Twitter, another Twitter arc, a micro arc that's been happening on Twitter that I love. The Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest. What do you mean, though? Grand prize was $50 and a cheap trophy, and thousands of people showed up to watch and compete, including actual Timothy. That was so funny. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was awesome. That rules. I love that. I loved everything about that. Another awesome thing happening on Twitter. Amazing things on Twitter the past few days. He's got some old lines on the backs and fronts of his legs. I'm just trying to clear out. Why were they fined? Yeah, the organizer got fined. I think they got fined because it started to be like a public disturbance where they were in a public area and a zillion trillion people showed up. Like, I get it. Like, I get it. I know it's all, you know, ACAB, fuck the police, whatever. But, like, an informal, completely open event just in the middle of New York City that has that many people there, like, the police were definitely going to show up. They were going to show up. Even if it was completely above board and no danger or anything, it was just a really, really large amount of people were there. But the fact that Timothy himself... The funniest thing is people going, Timothy himself was there, and he wasn't even the best Timothy. I swear there were people that looked more like him than he did. It's crazy. You telling me I could sell thousands of tickets for some silly competition and my only penalty is a measly fine? I don't think there were tickets. I literally think it was a show up. At least I haven't heard there were tickets. It was literally just, they were just posters all over the city. Timothy Chalamet, lookalike contest, here's the date, here's the location. You can win $50. Literally $50. But, yeah, Timothy himself showing up is like an all-timer. I was talking about it a little bit on Discord, but it's like a really easy win for him because it's only positive PR and it costs him nothing to do. And he's like, suddenly people like him even more now. It's not like there was much reason to dislike him. But it's like, of course he should show up. And he did, and it was amazing. It was hilarious. Easy dub. Very good optics. Was it slightly dangerous for him to show up? I would argue no, but I'm sure some people would say it was. I don't think Timothée Chalamet is the kind of person that someone's gonna attack. Half of that has to do because he's male, and the other half is because he's white. And there you go. My nose is running faster today from the glue than normal. It's been too long. My glue tolerance. Wait, it makes your nose run? That can't be good for you? Oh, it's not. Also, if he's scared about getting attacked, it's the best place for him to be. Honestly, kind of spitting with that. He literally was in the crowd for who knows how long, and nobody noticed him. All he had to do was put a mask on. There were some really good Timothée Chalamet lookalikes there, too. New York City would be the place to just have a high population of scrawny white twinks. So there were some women in the contest that looked a lot like him, too. But I guess it's because he's beautiful. Twink needs a gender-neutral equivalent? Yeah, I have no idea what that would be. A little guy, a woman would, or I guess a non-male twink is a little guy. I don't know about that. I actually think that kind of works. Demure small one. Frink. There you go. That almost sounds like a slur. Honestly, it could be, and you just could have just got me banned on Twitch. Don't worry, guys. The only slur you'll ever catch me saying is clanker. And that's because it was the funniest slur ever invented. Mold lines, they're not thick, but there are some a good amount of them on this model. I don't have to scrape too bad to get them off though. They're pretty thin. Sometimes I really gotta scrape, but these are usually just a 1 or 2 passes and they're good. They are in some annoying areas though. Oh my god, am I allowed to talk about something sad? There's something that made me sad the other day on Twitter. I had heard a story about one of the more famous bears in what national park? Or did they do like the bear tracking content, like the bear thing? All the bears are numbered. One of the more famous bears got hit by a car recently. She's like a really famous bear. She was like prolific as far as raising cubs and yeah. She was like really old and had raised like a record-breaking amount of cubs to adulthood. She was really famous. That's so sad. Grizzly 399? Unsure. I don't remember the number. But she wasn't named. They were calling her Bear and then a number. But she used to be spotted all the time. Because she would raise her cubs near the roads on purpose. So that the male bears would not go near the roads. She was kind of a star. Is my understanding of it anyway. And it made me sad. I love bears. A grizzly bear is kind of really scary, but really big, beautiful beast. You know? Kodiak's very scary, horrifying, but they sure are cute. Polar bears too, so cute. Gigantic evil killer. Polar bears are evil, but like grizzlies and stuff aren't evil. But polar bears are evil. I'm not sure how much of it is a myth, but everyone always says polar bears kill for fun. They hunt for sport, not just for food. Like they've been seen like leaving kills, you know? Polar bears are like crazy. They're evil. Oh, that shit's true? Yeah, that's crazy. Polar bears are evil. They're still very cute, but they're evil. Like dolphins or killer whales. It wouldn't surprise me if dolphins did that shit too, but killer whales I think also do that. Killer whales are also evil. I hate them. Evil. The fact that animals will hunt for sport is crazy. That's wild to me. Where's my little upgrade sprue? What are these? Are these Terminator sprues? What are they doing in there? A power sword in there? A power fist too? Interesting. I'm looking for these. needed to get this guy a different head. So no head? Saving them for a special moment? I'm definitely saving them on purpose, but I don't know why they're in there. Do they kill for fun? I mean, the fact that it seems like a good amount of us in here have at least heard it, there's probably some truth to it. But I think you're right, though. It doesn't make much sense, because they live in a very food-scarce area, generally. But yeah, I do believe that's true. I've seen tactical rock, but never tactical plate. Yeah, this is like a... It's like a fallen steel beam. Yeah. I do like tactical rocks. I know a lot of people hate on tactical rocks. I do tend to be a fan. I just like the more dynamic poses they offer. I don't want every model to have one, but I don't really get the hate. But I think the hate is probably because too many models have them. You know, 4 Primaris Lieutenants with tactical rocks that are all the same. Yeah. I like bears, though. I always like following those live cams of, like, the salmon season when all the bears are trying to bulk up before the winter. And there's, like, 8 bears just standing upstream, just catching salmon. And there's, like, the big contest on which bear can get the fattest before the season's over. And that rules. That rules. I love fat animals, but usually it's like, oh, well, it's sad they're fat. They're really unhealthy. But for a bear, the whole purpose is that thing's trying to become massive. You know, it's not unhealthy for it to be huge. So I don't have to feel as guilty about liking it. Because I like fat animals. They're cute. But a lot of the times it comes with the baggage of the animal being vastly unhealthy. But a bear wants that shit. Did you hear about Hank the Tank? I don't think so. Bears have bulking cutting seasons built into their metabolism? Yup. Very interesting, bears. There aren't that many animals that I would think the average person do that. I don't think I could name another one off the top of my head that has a bulking and cutting season. Is Hank the Tank the one they've said is, like, sired, like, a notable percentage of the bears in that valley or whatever? He's, like, huge. This doesn't want to stick. Guys, I think I'm washed. I got the new Call of Duty yesterday and played it for about an hour and a half. And I was not feeling it. And it's not necessarily because the game is bad. I think I just don't like games like that anymore. Like, I don't think it was a bad game. It seemed like pretty good for a Call of Duty anymore. But I was like, not feeling it. I don't know. I think it might be Jover for me. I think I'm washed. I have like the opposite of brain rot. Like, the game is just too much for me now. Oh, this is one of the coolest parts of this guy. He has like a whole fucking crane attached to his back. That's awesome. Could you use it for combat? Doubtful. Is it cool? Absolutely. It's got a whole like claw and everything. It's cool. Maybe for picking up fallen dreadnought parts. I'm not really sure exactly what he would use it for. But he has a whole ass crane. Usually they're hands, they're grippers. But this one's like a whole crane. It lowers. It's interesting. Or it's like a drill or something. I remember when Black Ops came out, half the boys at school and even some of the teachers took the day off. Yeah, they just don't make them like they used to. And I think we've changed as much as the games have. So, we've just grown apart. Teachers stopped taking DSs when Black and White came out. Yeah. I miss the days of handhelds. Oh, but Reese, you stupid fucking idiot. The Switch is a handheld, you fucking moron. No, it's not. It's not, guys. It just didn't happen. It didn't happen. It's not the same. And you all know what I mean by that. It is not the same. Reese, your smartphone is... No! It can't play anything worthwhile except for RuneScape. And everyone knows that RuneScape doesn't count as a game in the same way that like games on the DS do. RuneScape is a fucking number go up simulator. That reminds me, oh my goodness. The guys who created RuneScape, their new game is coming out in early access on November 6th. They delayed it by 1 day because of the fucking election. Imagine being English and delaying your game coming out for the election. I always forget how much American elections tend to affect the rest of the world. And I honestly don't think they should. That's kind of messed up. Like, it doesn't matter to me who, like, the leaders of, like, France and places are. Like, sure, I might have an opinion on it, but it doesn't affect me at all. So it's always interesting to hear other, like, foreign nationals talking about the American election. I saw someone on Twitter say the other day that the average person in France should have no idea what Wisconsin is. But, like, the French media was talking about Wisconsin and how it's, like, a swing state or something. Or maybe it was Michigan, not Wisconsin. Probably Michigan. And it's like, they're right. The average French person shouldn't know about Michigan. I can't name a single thing in France except for, like, 2 cities and some landmarks. And I think that's normal. It's interesting. But also, I don't think it should be that way. This thing is a heavy piece. There we go. This is at a weird angle. Ghost is going to be in Vegas next August. That's kind of awesome. I don't like Ghost in the same way that Connor does, but it would still be really cool to see them. Any ghosty boys in here? Any Ghost fans? I know Kaz would say yes, and I think maybe Madai would say yes if she was here. Or if they were there, sorry. Madai, if you're listening. Yeah, they're going to be in Vegas in August. Yeah, it's a big world tour. They're going to be all over the place. Almost died. Alrighty, well, That went together pretty well, actually. And I have a spare head, which I don't really like, but I have it. Right, that's all it says he has. That's it. Yeah, the gun goes on, and he's done. He just has to go on his base. Which, honestly, I usually don't glue them on. I do the texture paste first, but he has a really big... He doesn't touch his base with his feet very much, so we'll just put his ass on there. Is that on? No. Well, yes and no. His leg is kind of coming off. It's loose. See? Let's redo that. Well, that's going to be annoying to put back on with him fully assembled, but we'll do it. We'll be able to do it. But it was very loose. I don't know exactly why. That feels like it'll be better once it sets. Trying to make sure he's standing upright and that his feet and legs are all good. Dang, this leg's giving me trouble now. Fine then. I will hold you in place for a second. He feels mostly stable. My fingerprint is now forever on the bottom of this guy's base. Okay, there we go. Yeah. I wanted another Tech Marine for my army, and I'll go get the other one. I wonder if their bases are the same size. Where is the other one? Where'd he go? It does look like their bases are the same size. Yep. They are. I wanted another one, and this guy has a really cool sculpt. He's different. So, now I have two Tech Marines, and one of them looks really cool. They both look cool, obviously, but this other guy is really interesting. Yeah. This guy's not in Gravis. Well, he kind of is. It's just not as big. This guy's in really big Gravis. Yeah. Big old guy. He's got his big zappy arm and his big crane arm and his gun and his big axe. It's a really cool model. Really cool. I really like this guy. For those who weren't paying attention or missed when we started, he's Iron Father Pharos, which is an Iron Hands model, but I scraped the Iron Hands stuff off of his shoulder pads so that I could make him Imperial Fist. And I just threw an Imperial Fist helmet on him. Or a normal Gravis helmet, rather, on him. So now he can fit in any army. He looks really cool. And again, he goes with this guy. My two Tech Marines. I don't know if I'm gonna keep going. Because if I'm being honest, I want to watch Casper Canaccini play Pikmin. Anyone else want to watch Casper Canaccini play Pikmin? Because I certainly do. I just wanted to stream a little bit, say hello to everybody. You know, I'm alive. I wanted to assemble a model, talk a little bit, catch up, do some hobby. So I think that might be it for me today, guys. I know that's really short, but you know, I'm kind of done. This Tech Marine turned out really good. I keep forgetting how good this guy turned out. I really like him. And I know it's against the codex to paint your Tech Marines yellow. It doesn't fucking matter. He looks really cool. He looks really good in yellow. Really cool. Yeah. Okay, well, away we go. We're gonna go raid Casper. Are you kidding me? No, we're done. Stream's over. That's it. We're done now. I'm gonna put these sprues away. I'm in the supermarket and it's ending. Why do you care? You're in the supermarket. I'm back for picking up dinner? Huh? I'm sorry. Did you guys... I was only assembling one model. That was it. I don't have anything else to assemble. It was just kind of a chill stream. I'm overlapping 1 million people. And that's it. That's it. That's it. We had a lot of yapping at the start of the stream. I had a lot of fun things to talk about. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody gives 2 shits about me. It's over. I'm the worst Twitch streamer ever. But yeah, we're gonna go raid Casper. I think. What? I'm being silly. I'm being silly. What, a fucking guy can't be silly anymore? Everyone has to go, what? Why are you so sad and mad right now? I'm being quirky. Okay, well, I mean, that's it. That's it, guys. I don't really have much else to say. I don't have anything else to do. Like, what do you guys... No, I'm leaving. That's it. Raiding. /raid Casper Canaccini. Bye, everybody. I know it was like my shortest stream ever today, but it was fun and chill, and I liked it. So go see Casper. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. I know it was chill. I'll be back on Wednesday. Maybe we'll paint this guy. I don't know. Goodbye. Goodbye.